When I was a child, the basic training that goes on with children is to remove a sense of safety and security. So children go through things like having a close family member, such as a father and or mother and or brothers or sisters, older ones, cousins, aunts, uncles, family friends, molest them, perpetrate upon them in the most horrendous ways. There is nothing more awful that you can do to a little child than to sexually molest and perpetrate on their person. Because here is an adult that is supposed to love you, take care of you. And what are they doing to you? Sticking a penis in your mouth or in other orifices, telling you not to tell, pinching you, biting you, hurting you, doing things that don't leave marks on you. This is an adult that's supposed to love you. So the little child thinks, this must be love. But it hurts. I don't understand. It's like having an explosion go off in your mind. So you never know. You never know when you're little who is going to hurt you, because you know it hurts. And you grow up really being programmed into thinking this is how it is. You don't know anything else. And the abuse is so terrible, just at that level, in your everyday life, that you've got to dissociate it, push it away, forget. The ones that can't do that, those children are the ones that, if they make it to adulthood, they end up being diagnosed schizophrenic, psychotic. They end up in jail, committing crimes. I guarantee you that every sexual molester in jail has been molested horrifically. That does not excuse their behavior, because we all make a choice. But this is how it goes on. It goes on from generation to generation, and it has increased greatly. A child's basic need, besides safety, is shelter, food, water, clothing, elimination. Little children who are told, no, you can't have any water, left in a room, no, you better not pee, because if you do, you're going to drink it. And then guess what? It happens. If you have a bowel movement, you're going to eat it. And that is what happens. This is basic training. Left in a room and ignored, you're understimulated, you're sensory deprived, left in a room with blankets tied around you so you can't move. You don't know what time of day it is because maybe you're blindfolded. You're left that way. And then you're overstimulated. And everyone acts like nothing is happening. This isn't even happening because the adults around you don't talk about it. They never say a word. Life goes on around you, and it's ignored, and you're ignored. You feel crazy. You feel like this cannot be happening. It must not be real. I'm not real versus none of this is real. Maybe both. This is crazy making, and this causes a child who has the ability to go inside themselves, to dissociate and start creating their own little world. The seed is planted because they need you to have an inside world, because you're going to spend a lot of time in that inside world, that they're going to take that seed and they're going to create all of these inside scenarios. This is how you create multiple personalities. This is the very early training. This sets the scene. This lets you know that anything can happen anytime. About the age of 5, they start training you for what they want you to be doing. They have realized your tendencies, they've studied your reactions, and they will start training you for what role it is you're going to have. About that time, there's a little marriage ceremony for a child. The child is married into the particular group, organized perpetrator group, you can call it that, you can call it cult. The child is married into it. And they are given a ring. Today, on my little finger, on this hand, I have that little ring. It is a child's ring. I don't know anyone else that has saved it. There are others that have run across it. When they were older, it was passed to them again to remind them, and they have thrown it out. I chose to save it because I want to talk about it. And I want people to know these things are real. This ring has blood stains on it. It has a bar sinister on a crest on the side. And that is indicative of bloodline. There are others that have this ring out there. They start involving you in rituals. They start watching you. They watch your reaction. They push you to be as involved as they can get you to be in the ritual. They will hold your hand on a knife when they do sacrifice. This is so horrific for a child that they really have a hard time remembering. This is some deeper layer that goes inside of a child. I was involved in all of these things. I am not the only one. There are others. All children are brought up like this. It makes you part of the group. Then they tell you, you're one of us. You're just like us. Everything that's done at a ritual, child is involved in. It is very hard to be at a ritual and see other people being hurt. It's hard enough when you are, but you can zero in on yourself and go away. But when you are helpless, watching others be tortured and seeing what they do there, it's very painful. And it is, I don't even, at this point, I still could not fully describe to you how it feels. It's horrific. In these rituals, the number of participants is very important. Whether they are using male or female energy is important. There are some groups that only employ male energy. There are others that only employ female energy. And there are others that do both, and maybe one or the other for specific occasions. There are children who are bred and born only to be sacrificed at some point in their lives. That is their purpose. There are so many children whose births are not recorded. I worked with a nurse midwife, and we did home births. She wasn't part of any of this, but if she was upset with somebody, she didn't record the birth. And the parents had problems by the time that child had to go to school. It was a practically impossible situation. All of these loosely knit cults, which are really, down at the bottom under the Illuminati, have homes where these children stay and are schooled in a private system. These children are used in snuff films, porn films, ritual sacrifice. They are like slaves, and they disappear. Some of them go underground. I mean, literally to underground cities, never to come back up. Some are food. They're a food source. They're an energy source. That's all they are.